Welcome to Freda Chando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. In case you are watching this channel for the first time, allow me with profound humility to request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. The latest twist in the KANU Party saga is a case of the hunter becoming the hunted. While Gideon Moi had purported to suspend the Secretary General Mr. Nick Salat from the party, it now turns out that the officials are ganging up and they want to suspend him instead. In fact, they told off Gideon Moi that when his father left behind some of the things that he should inherit, the KANU party is not one of them. But the question that I want us to look at is, because I have realized that very many experts believe that President William Ruto is pulling the strings from behind. Is it true that William Ruto is rocking KANU? Are there any signs and symptoms that President William Ruto is the one who is using Nick Salat to rock the oldest party in Kenya? If you ask me, the answer is yes. So I want us to look at what are some of the objectives of William Ruto by doing this. Number one, the reason why I believe that William Ruto has a hand in this is because one, President William Ruto is a man who has mastered the art of Kenyan politics. He is very crafty and he knows the button to press and when to press it. Let me give you an example. President William Ruto forced Moses Kuria to abandon his party, and Moses Kuria threw away that party and joined the UDA. President Ruto has always manifested the characters of a man who is after political dominance. In Bungoma, after Moses Wetangula had campaigned vigorously and gave him over 255,000 votes from Bungoma County and left a vacant seat to join the speaker. In that by-election, William Samoei Ruto, against the chagrin of some of the Luhya leaders like Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula, sponsored a candidate on a UDA ticket. Moses Wetangula had thought that William Ruto was going to help him campaign against their fiercest rival, Azimio. But instead, William Ruto sponsored a candidate because he wanted to show his political muscles in Bungoma. It failed and Moses Wetangula humiliated him. Now, if you look at the latest developments, even in Nyanza, he is trying to gain inroads using David Eliud Owalo, but it is very slippery. It is not really working. Miguna tried it. It did not work. So I believe that those are signs and symptoms that William Samoei Ruto has manifested before, that he wants political dominance in these regions. But what does William Ruto want to achieve by ensuring that he kills KANU and buries it into political oblivion? Number one, William Samoei Ruto wants to set up an indomitable political empire, like the one that Raila Amolo Odinga has built in Nyanza. You see, William Samoei Ruto is really learning from Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila built his political throne for a period of time, and there are people who tried to wrestle that power from him. Anyang' Nyong'o tried it, he came back. James Orengo tried it, he came back. Both of them are now governors. Anyang' Nyong'o is the governor of Kisumu County, and Orengo is the governor of Siaya County. People like Onyango Lo are in political oblivion. They tried wrestling that power. Raphael Tuju tried it, it could not work. So this is exactly what William Samoei Ruto is trying to do. People like Isaac Ruto tried to compete with William Ruto in Rift Valley. They never saw the light of day. Alfred Keter never saw the light of day. Very many people claim that Alfred's nomination was rigged from him. I don't know. Now, for William Ruto to build such an indomitable political empire, he must kill the political dynasty that has forever dominated Rift Valley. And this is KANU, which is the oldest party, and make sure that he annihilates the Moi family politically. He did it during elections because he defeated Gideon Moi in Baringo senatorial race. He went ahead and defeated Raymond Moi, who was trying to become an MP in Rongai constituency. But that is not enough for William Ruto. He wants to cast the last nail on the coffin to ensure that the name KANU will never be heard again, because he understands that if KANU will still be growing some little horns, KANU might just be an alternative in 2027. William Ruto tested his first nominations in the last elections, and he realized just how murky it can be, how divisive it can be. In fact, it is a thorn in the flesh for the owners of those parties. And he understands very well that KANU could be an alternative for those who are disgruntled and feel that they have been enfranchised during the nomination process, so KANU can give them tickets. So William Ruto is one who is building his efforts in 2027. So he wants to ensure that he brings down the political dominance of KANU, then he will build up his political hegemony in Rift Valley to ensure that he spreads his wings. William Ruto is looking at post-2032, when he shall have retired from politics, and then he will be handing over to one of his children, and I believe that that will be Charlene Ruto. I have watched the movements of Charlene Ruto of late. Charlene Ruto is moving very fast. In a span of just less than 2 weeks, she had paid a courtesy call to almost all the governors in Kenya. Charlene Ruto has a First Lady's office, and Charlene Ruto has a Charlene Foundation where she's distributing food. People have nicknamed Charlene Ruto Quickmart, because Quickmart, after the fall of Nakumatt supermarket, Quickmart came very fast and was opening very many branches. And so because of that, Charlene Ruto, within a short period when the father took oath of office, she is everywhere. And I believe that she is the one who will take the mantle from his father, William Ruto. Then number two, why William Ruto would want to kill KANU, excuse me, is to ensure that he weakens Azimio. You see, in the last general election, Azimio was a bit strong. It enjoyed the support of the government, ministers, the police, and everything. But William Ruto is looking at 2027 and he wants to cut Azimio wings. Already, KANU seems to be very weak. In fact, KANU has got only 4 members of parliament and they are inclining to work with William Ruto. So he wants to remove KANU. Rigathi Gachagua had given a notice of the Jubilee leaders who are in Central, and he told them that he has given them up to 31st of this month to join UDA. He calls those who are in other parties prodigal sons and prodigal sons and daughters. And so he's also trying to ensure that Azimio walks away from, Jubilee walks away from Azimio. The Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni someday said that they are done with Raila Odinga, but later he came back. I saw him even in Jacaranda. He went to Inoro FM and reiterated that he is in Azimio and that Jubilee is in Azimio. But Kanini Kega, who is also very vocal, now seems to be aloof. He's not in Azimio. The Azimio Nairobi branch, the Jubilee Nairobi branch are collecting 10,000 signatures so that they can also move away from Azimio. So if you look at the game plan, is that they want to leave maybe Raila Odinga alone, because even Wavinya Ndeti and some of the governors in Ukambani, that is Mutula Kilonzo Jr. of Makueni and Malombe of Kitui, someday had a meeting and they said that they want to work with the president. You never know. Maybe this is also another ploy to ensure that they move away from Azimio. So that is one thing that he wants to achieve, so that as they approach 2027, maybe Raila will remain with ODM and they will start saying that ODM is a Luo affair. And that is the reason why I believe he wants to ensure that KANU suffers a natural death. Number 3, this is a revenge mission and to teach Gideon Moi a lesson. Gideon Moi is one person who his father would have really wanted to inherit power, not only KANU power, but to entrench himself as the sure kingpin in Rift Valley. But when Moi retired from politics, William Samoei Ruto, being crafty and a go-getter, decided to occupy that space very fast. And this really infuriated Moi, and Moi was never happy. So in their culture, I think William Ruto wanted to ensure that he talks with Moi before Moi dies in his sunset days when he was very sick. But Gideon Moi literally blocked William Ruto from meeting the old man before he died. He tried several times, but he did not. Gideon Moi allowed people like Raila Odinga, Joho, Paranya, several leaders, but William Ruto never saw the light of day. And so this is something that Ruto did not take lightly. It is now his moment, and he wants to show him that he's got the powers. He wants to show him that he who loves last loves best, and this is a revenge mission. As we've seen, this government has manifested that they're in a revenge mission. Look at Cherera and the team. Look at the people like the former IG, Muchambai. Look at the former DCI, George Kinoti. All the people who never supported them are suffering in one way or the other, ladies and gentlemen. And these are the reasons why I believe that William Ruto has a hand in all the predicaments that are bedelving KANU party. And those are the reasons, again, why, of what he really wants to achieve. What do you really think, ladies and gentlemen? Please share with me in the comments section. Let's meet in another video.